My dear brothers and sisters, aking mga kapatid sa pananampalataya, third episode na po tayo of our third season regarding the incarnate Son. Imagine na 29 weeks na po ito out of 52. Pakinggan po natin ngayon ang Word of God taken from the Gospel of John kasi ito po ang reference ng ating reflection sa ngayong araw.
No one has gone up to heaven except the one who has come down from heaven, the Son of Man. And just as Moses lifted up the serpent in the desert, so must the Son of Man be lifted up, so that everyone who believes in him may have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, so that everyone who believes in him might not perish, but might have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world might be saved through him.
Alam niyo mga kapatid, I've always been asking people, my homilies, retreats, even conferences, whether has any one of them ever gone to heaven. At least one day, they experience what heaven is like. Alam niyo naman po, it's a rhetorical question, ika nga. Kasi it has an obvious answer eh. Ano ba obvious answer? Of course, no one. There's not a single living human person who has gone up to heaven, even just for a moment or for a day. So ngayon, ang tanong ko sa kanila ay, so what's the point of believing na meron niyang langit? Yan. Meron ba talagang langit? Well, that is what the secular world of today deny. There is nothing after this life on earth. Meron to tayong Sigmund Freud, psychoanalysis on the Oedipus complex. Kasi the whole world is trying to look into his Oedipus complex. Sabi niya, it is a human guilt of falling into disobedience of God. Sabi nila, ano lang yan? Gawa-gawa lang yan. When we were children, meron tayong guilt feeling na nasaktan natin ating tatay. Pero now that we're adult, hindi na kailangan yan. That Oedipus complex is no longer true. So we realize it is just, part of our transition from being childlike, childish, children, to becoming mature and adult. So, i-transfer natin sa Christianity. Sabi nila, now that we are emotionally mature, we know better than what the scriptures say. And therefore, we see here the descent of the modernist. Kita nyo? Hindi daw tao made in God's image. Wala mga miracle. Hanggang walang deity, walang atonement, no resurrection. And there we are. Agnosticism, atheism. Alam nyo, this is called secularism. Pervasive today in our society. The subjectivism that leads to individualism, materialism that becomes consumerism, and materialism also that becomes hedonism. Ano nangyayari? We want independence. We are self-driven. Power, wealth, fame, and glory. Ayun. I am different from everyone else. And so, I claim my independence. And how do you become independent? Graduate from school. Become excellent in your studies. Bakit? Because now you can pursue pleasure. Happiness daw is just a piece of cake. And what is the pleasure of it? Wow, to be independent from the rest. And not only that, you can shop. When you have all the money, you can shop until you drop. Ibang-iba na po, ano? Hindi na si Rene Descartes. I think, therefore I am. Ito, I shop, therefore I am. Tira niyo naman. With all the sales, with all the enganyo, advertisements, look at the malls. Look at how huge are these so-called halls. And what do they sell? Bags. Pinipilahan po. And they pursue to the highest degree to be able to possess a bag of Gucci, or even in the pandemic to carry a Louis Vuitton bag. Wow. Who would not want to have this kind of cars, including a helicopter with it? Now, the problem with the persons who have chucked off the reality of life after death, they actually miss the entire picture. What is genuinely real and what is really true. When we say me instead of we, the people, we only live half the truth. And that is the bodily, the material, the power, the gain. Just imagine how much money China pours into all these armaments to just show that they are powerful. And so Marcel Proust says, lies are essential to humanity. They are perhaps as important as the pursuit of pleasure and are dictated, in fact, by that pursuit. Who told the lie? Who gives us the lie of life? The devil, they say, tells us the truth. Yun lang, it's half true. And what is that? Indulge. Indulge with delight, enjoy, get as much as you want, accumulate, because you're completely body. There is a truth in that, but what about the other side of the soul? So it's being a half-truth because it is also half a lie. And what the lie consists now is that at the end of one's life, like this flower that blooms in the morning, but by evening, it withers and fades. Look at that. This devil will be defeated. In fact, is already defeated by the fact that Jesus rose from the dead. So as much as he's so intelligent that he knows he cannot win the battle against God, he aims to destroy humanity. Sisirain ko mga tao. I will make them really think that there is no heaven. So brothers and sisters, sabi nga ni Chekhov, no? Write only of what is important and essential. Try to help your children to recognize there is such a thing as eternity, because at the end of life, there is the resurrection to the life without end, the fullness, the complete joy that awaits all of us. Kaya nga mga kapatid po, pag nawala po ito, sabihin natin sa radar ng ating mga kabataan, they will be working for something that they would ultimately lose. That itself is a condemnation of life. Wag naman po sana we would lead our children our good children into the clasp of the evil one.
I grew up having to share things with five other siblings. This means getting just enough ulam so everybody could have a piece, limiting my time in the bathroom because someone is waiting for their turn, packing light during trips because there's only so much space in the car. So basically, understanding that resources are limited and we have to make do with what we have. So we lived simply, we lived within our means, and life is not complicated. It's something that I got used to and continue to practice. I can still remember my engagement story from 2015. It's so simple and heartfelt that everything is still so vivid. No ring, nothing fancy, and only one word was spoken. Tara. We both knew what we meant. It was, tara, pakasal na tayo. The engagement was rather short, 10 months. Not enough time to save up for a grand wedding. But that's okay, because we really planned to have a small and simple wedding. One we can afford, one where we both knew every guest, and every guest can share in the ceremony and the celebration. We DIY'd whatever we can. My sister in law made the invitations, my dad made the souvenirs, my sisters made the boutonnieres and fans. It became our bonding session. I made my own dress from a lace top I found at an ukay-ukay and tulle bought from Divisoria. We stuck with what's practical because we knew that there's something larger after the wedding that we have to prepare for our life together. When making life plans, my husband and I know that it doesn't matter where we are or how we are living. As long as we're together, we will make things work. Of course, we want a good life, especially for our 3-year-old. We understand that a good life doesn't mean we will never be in need, but for us, it's about contentment, finding the beauty in little things, making memories, and working towards the fullness of life that God has in store for us.